Okay.
Hi, everybody. It's Monday. The sun was out for a minute. Now it's overcast again. It was
It's
raining
real,
this morning,
it's really bright and sunny here, so
but
um,
unfortunately, our hearts are all breaking with this war that's going on. I was just telling Mel that they were showing Israelis running in the streets and the young kids screaming. It reminded me exactly what happened with the Palestine children. And
you know,
I don't care if they're Israeli or they're Palestine. I just feel so bad for the children. I just really do.
anytime innocent children
Oh,
get killed,
or
um,
hurt or see this.
or hurt or see
And to
this,
be so frightened, that doesn't leave them.
it's a travesty. It really
Yeah.
is. Um,
Or
you
see
know,
their
we
parents get killed.
we had predicted, I think it was a show last week or the week before, when people ask about Iran, we said that we saw missile strikes, we saw all kinds of missile
I
strikes,
keep seeing the missiles hitting the ships too.
and here we are.
Yep.
Um, when Trump said he was talking to Iran because he didn't like the way that the regime was treating the people in Iran. Well, guess what? He's doing the same thing here with his ICE and how they're killing innocent
Oh, I
Americans.
know. I know. They're
Same
killing
thing.
Americans.
And, there's a lot of MAGAs that are turning against Trump because he campaigned as a staunch critic of U.S. wars in the Middle East. And he's betrayed, in my opinion, those who subscribe to his anti-interventionist America First pledges, and
Yeah.
they're turning against him. And it's like I said before the show, I hope they enjoy the Kool-Aid they drink.
Well, there was a young woman on one of these social medias just screaming at the top of her lungs that she absolutely hates Trump and the MAGAs. And she said, "My mother's probably going to get hell for this, but she's married to a soldier in that's over there now, and she's scared to death." And some guy on the media also said, "Can you imagine these poor guys, especially the ones I know there's more than four dead. I'm going to
Oh
tell you
yeah,
right now."
of
But
course.
anyway, he said, "Can you imagine these poor guys who've already overstayed? They, as it was on the USS Abraham Lincoln, they tried to screw up the screw up the toilet latrine system,
Right.
so they wouldn't be able to keep going, but they were able to fix it, so they kept going, and they're just real upset." But he said, "Can you imagine being these guys where you hear, hey, negotiations are going pretty good, everything looks pretty good, and then you're dead within 2 days?"
Trump never had any plan of making good those negotiations. He was using that. Well, first it was the Iranian government killing the protesters in Iran. Then it was like, well, they have nuclear weapons. No, they don't. The inspectors have not found them. Then it's just like, okay, now he's attacking. And Pete Hegg said something about that we didn't start this war. Now, excuse me, once again, they're telling us don't believe our eyes, don't believe our
Believe
ears.
our heirs.
And the only reason it started, Trump had no plan of negotiating. It was he and Netanyahu were talking about this for a long time because he was fearful that the Epstein files would come out and he
and,
had to
and
do something to
Netanyahu's
protect.
fearful of them coming after him for crimes against humanity.
That's right. So they had to do something to divert the attention. And right now it looks like that they are distracting and diverting and deceiving and detracting everybody's attention, but it won't work.
Yeah. You know what? When I was talking to you, I got this hit. It may happen, it may not happen, you guys. But I felt that you're going to find the military fracture. They may say, "No, we're not, no boots on the ground, sucker. You go."
Well, we've been saying for a long time that a lot of the top generals won't like what he's doing.
They're
Uh,
already talking out.
but this one general, Kane, he and Haig said, I'm telling you, they're going to be tried for crimes against humanity. This
Yeah,
war was not, they'll say it's preemptive. Iran didn't do anything to the United States. We had no business doing what we did. None.
yeah.
And you hit on something
Well, they
that,
have terrorists within Iran that
I
did
get that.
things that killed Americans. That
Yes, that's
we've
true.
always had that since I was a young girl. I remember that.
That's true. But this war is not about that. It's
Yeah.
about distracting from releasing the Epstein files.
Well,
That
they call this all the other nations call this the pedophile war, the Epstein war.
absolutely. Absolutely. And other nations are pulling away. I read today that Canada and India struck a deal with arrangements on technology, critical minerals, space, defense,
Good.
education, and they're going to do a free trade deal by the end of 2026, and it's done to decrease exposure to Trump's punitive tariffs, to
Yeah.
Trump punishing people by saying, "I'll put a
Which
tariff
the
on."
Supreme Court already said is illegal, but notice how he's not getting the message.
Correct. Absolutely correct. So I think this is the beginning of the end for Donald Trump. I
I
really,
think so. And there's a big Texas thing tomorrow. I think you guys are going to see some pretty significant numbers with Texas saying, oh, hell no.
and people don't worry because the Epstein files are gonna come out. I
Yeah.
see countries in Europe releasing them.
I
So
know. Iran kept saying they were going to release them, but they never did.
I see the scandal coming.
Okay.
And
And
this warning runs, this they say it's going to be over in 5 weeks. It's reminiscent of when Putin went into Ukraine. Oh, it'll be over in 5 weeks. The
he
Ukrainians,
said a week, right? He would be able to take over in a week.
well, today it's 5 weeks, but
No,
I
not with, it's
oh,
5 years.
Putin, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about with Trump saying this will go on for like 5 weeks. My feeling is it's going to go on. And
He's still trying to act like king for a day. And if you watch with our own eyes,
that's right.
the the missiles, oh my God, they got families on their knees in their homes praying to God to
They
help
struck
them crying in
a,
Israel. And I thought, where were you when you were bombing Palestine's?
the missile struck a hospital in Tehran. A hospital. Come on.
That's
I mean,
terrible.
I mean, the whole thing reeks, and European Union's meeting because they have a lot of oil imports. Um, Natural gas prices surged today.
Because not just because of them, somebody else said, and guess what? We've closed the spout on natural gas. I
Right.
don't know who did it, but it wasn't Iran. Someone else did.
Right, exactly. But wow, it's just, I mean, we knew it would happen, but and you said something before the show, and I
What?
want
That give me my gosh darn money back?
yeah, right. I want a refund. Um, that you were nervous about if Iranians in this country are going to be rounded up and
Yes, I
deployed to
worry
Saudi.
about because if we get a lot of American deaths, you know how Americans are. The, like when Japan with World War II, the Japanese were just it was
Well,
terrible what
the
happened.
majority of us are not supporting this, will not support this, and I think you're right. I think you said before the show that Trump thinks that if he starts a war, then there won't be elections. Wrong
There's
answer.
still Bill. No
There'll
way. I
still
still
be
see.
elections.
Hey, and the other thing is Iranians or the little group of certain people may do something to hurt Americans in American land. I don't know what kind of thing's going to happen if they hit the railway, but it's going to be Iranian related, and that could be a real, screw you kind of thing. So I don't know. And the Jewish people are getting hard hit too.
And the
But
Jewish
did you
people are,
see the video in Poland? They had a whole group of Jewish people coming in. That they were the ones with the curly thing and the hat, and uh, they said no, you can't come, you can't enter
well,
Poland.
I see Israeli people protesting in the street against this war.
Oh,
And
and
I see,
they've been protesting against Netanyahu.
and that's my point. They're going to
Yeah,
protest even more against Netanyahu and getting their heads together and getting rid of Netanyahu because I see them getting rid of him, and he's going to end up tried for war crimes. I
I don't
see.
know if he'll get tried because I see real serious effort to take them out.
There's going to be a female that will come to power in Israel, and she is going to promote peace in the Middle East. Um,
She'll be able to
and
work across the table. And the other
correct.
thing is, if we get rid of Trump, legally or whatever, if we manage to get rid of him, Iran might listen to us, but they're not going to listen to us while he's still there.
Well, Trump had to have known if when they bombed Iran, sent missiles, that they would retaliate. And that just feeds more gasoline on Trump's fire. And Pete Hegseth, well, look at what they're doing to targets in Qatar and the United Arab Emirates and in Kuwait. So they're just using that as a way to escalate these bombings, but it was the United States who started it.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's just like it's a playbook from Putin.
Listen, when Hedgehog came on this morning and
Oh,
Trump, I turned the I can't even listen to him because they're spewing lies.
oh, it's all lies, every bit of it. And a lot of the MAGAs are pulling away because they're opening their eyes to it. So,
Well, sleeper cells, that's what I meant to say.
yes,
Sleeper cells will start working over here, you guys. They're already thinking of things to do. But it'd be foolish of them to kill innocent Americans because then that just turns the wrath more on Iran.
right, exactly. I have a question here, and I think people are nervous about it now. But JoJo asked, will Democrats win the Senate in the midterms? Will there even
Hell
be an
yeah.
election? I guess the
Hell
big,
yeah.
I guess the bigger question is, that SAFE Act didn't pass, I don't think.
No, it didn't.
But they're still going to try to cheat on more stuff. Trump thinks that this war is going to make him popular, and it's going just the opposite way.
It's going to go the opposite, especially the more bodies they bring back.
And it's going to trash our
People are
economy.
going to like it. And I'm surprised Bush wasn't hung. I don't think Bush knew how much he was lied to by Intel. I really don't. I think he honestly thought they had weapons of mass destruction. But when we found out all those lies and that it was never, that this whole thing was put on, I truly don't think he knew, but we didn't bring him for crimes against humanity.
The
Time
sad
for us
part,
to stop letting people get by with lying to the American public.
the sad part is that Americans are dying for a war that should have never happened.
Exactly.
It's like I said, it's a playbook with Putin when he invaded Ukraine, and then blame the Ukrainians. And this is the same rhetoric, the same playbook. And and people here aren't gonna, as we say in the South where I come from, they're not gonna cotton to it.
Yeah.
I mean, people are afraid, but they're hopping mad at Trump.
Yeah.
So even people that supported him, they're like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Um, So I see the Democrats winning the House and the Senate.
I've been saying this since the get go.
Okay, it's your turn then.
Okay. Detention centers limiting food, packing detainees in like old slave ships, and denying hygiene products, even for women on their periods. When will these places be shut down? Now, we can't do the when, but we can tell you it's going to be shut down. It's like someone asked, when will they find Nancy Guthrie's body? I've been telling you from the get go that I saw she was passed. Of course, she's in glory. She's extremely happy where she's at now. But I can't tell you when they're going to find her.
I think within the next 3 years, these things will all be shut down, and the
I saw
people
them with clipboards. I saw them feeding him, giving him nourishment, giving them clothes, and starting to close out all these places.
and these people repatriated. That if they want to stay here, then they can get citizenship. I mean, many of these people, 99% of these people are innocent. They've done nothing. The only thing that some have done is that they didn't have proper papers to be in this country, but they've worked here, they've paid taxes, and we let them stay here. And it's tearing apart families, it's tearing apart communities. But the folks in Minneapolis thank goodness they stood up, and folks are going to stand up in other cities.
Yep.
And I see anti-war protests coming. I see No King's Day protests
Oh,
coming.
what do you see for the No King's Day? I
It's
see
going to
it's
be
even
record.
bigger than before.
It's going to be to humongous, if there is a such word.
Yeah.
You know, I see people standing up more and protesting against ICE. You know, um, this is kind of reminiscent of the war in Vietnam, but I want to tell you something. People aren't people aren't going to stand for it.
Yeah.
So,
Enough. Enough.
um,
Somebody wrote, "Hi, ladies." So you're a lady too, Mel. Was Joan Bennett Ramsey's disappearance Epstein related? Well, that's a weird question because she didn't disappear. She was found dead in her home.
right. I don't think it, no,
Yeah.
it didn't have anything to do with it. Denise Tonio says, no question. I just wanted to say I love you both and thank you for being the lights in the dark. Oh.
Oh, thank you, honey.
You know, a lot of people called me after our last show and said that um, even Andrew from Androniki, great skincare products, got to try it. I talked to him, he's in Europe, and he said that people even tell him about how much they enjoy our shows. That
Oh, that's great.
and I got a lot of positive feedback too. That it's like two friends. It's like watching two friends talk,
Yeah,
discussing,
yeah. They like her
and
laid back.
yeah, and having coffee, and
Yeah,
so we got a lot of positive comments. Thank you all. That's so important
yeah,
because a lot of times we get the negative ones. Well, not a lot of times, sometimes. And, I think it's human nature. Sometimes we focus on those, but yet we're thankful for the people out there who really support us and love us and and watch us.
yeah.
So,
We really, really love you guys back too. You guys are what keep us going. Because if it's up to me, I'd just be eating chocolate eclairs, watching TV all day. So You know, I do see, especially like with our 250th anniversary, I do see some trouble coming up. But I want you guys to know that he will be gone before 4 years.
yes. I sensed something big in April. I felt something big coming, and people are asking if it's this. I said, no, it's something bigger. I don't know what it is, but I feel it.
Well, let me tell you, they've got inside people looking to get rid of him ASAP.
Yep.
And if the Pentagon turns on Trump, it's over.
Well, I think there are a lot of people in the government that are against him. I think a lot of Republicans are against this.
Hmm.
And I think they're hopping mad that he didn't even talk to Congress about it. Because
I don't see them voting for this, saying, "Oh
no,
yeah, well yeah, we're for." I don't see the votes coming through,
no,
except
he
for
didn't. No,
Lady Graham.
he tried to set it up by his rhetoric, like I said, the Iran to protect the Iranian people, but we all know that's BS.
Uh huh.
Here's one. Creation X says, when or how will Mike Johnson lose his speakership?
Oh, that's the problem. We can't tell you when, but I can tell you he's gonna lose it.
I thought he'd be gone before the midterms. I think that people behind the scenes in the House, Democrats are saying, I mean, Republicans, I'm sorry, they see the brown on his nose because Trump stopped real quick.
I do see a couple of people, more Republicans, stepping down.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of them. Um, and I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to come out of the woodwork and really
Oh,
start.
she's really good. She's talking about this war. She's so furious at Trump. But let me tell you something. Uh, I'm not a fan anymore of our guy. What's his name? In charge of Congress, the minority leader,
Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries. They're saying he takes money from Israel.
Um,
So
I
does
think
Schumer.
I got a funny feeling somebody else is going to be in there.
I think someone else going in there. I don't. I see that people are already upset.
Hey, what do you think is going to happen in Texas between Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett?
Well, I
Tallarico,
did the cards and it looked like he was going to win.
yeah, that's what I was picking up. He's really
Well,
coming up.
I know. So because of the prejudices Texas can hold.
But I still see Jasmine Crockett, even if she loses this, she, um,
I'd love her to win. But
well,
the Republicans want her to win because they think it's easier to beat a black woman than it is a white man.
she's going to be formidable, I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I
But
hope it's her that wins.
I hope she wins. But if she doesn't, I still see her holding high level positions within the government. So,
Yeah. She's so
uh,
smart.
oh, she's brilliant. She's
Did you
brilliant.
watch the Screen Actors Guild last night?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, well, my favorite movie won. This is actors voting for actors. Sinners. I think that was the best movie made. I don't like that other one, although I like Leo DiCaprio. I don't like that movie. I had a hard time sitting through it, but it was excellent. And the lady that played the crazy lady in that movie, you probably didn't see it. She won Best Supporting Actress. What's the name of that movie? It's about little kids that run out of their house. It's,
Oh, I saw that movie. That was good.
she won. She should win. She was good.
It was good. I forget the name of that movie. They were
What was the
running
name
from
of it?
something. I don't know, but I
It's
saw
one
that.
word, but anyway,
Yeah.
but they gave the Screen Actors Guild Award to they do one person every year that has done all kinds of stuff for the Screen Actors Guild, and it was Harrison Harrison
Wow.
Ford
I
and
didn't see Sinners. I didn't see it.
Sinners.
Yeah,
That is an excellent movie.
I didn't
But
see it.
anyway, so Harrison Ford got the Lifetime Achievement Award, and he went up there and spoke. He's getting old, you can tell, but I got to tell you guys a little story about him. I used to live in Moran, and I knew somebody that knew this lady that was the secretary or one of the assistants to George Lucas. George Lucas Ranch was just down the street from me. And I saw him a lot of times at a pizza place with his kids. They were going to play baseball. And do you know they asked for her to run out and get lunch? And she went out and get lunch, but she, a single mom, she didn't have all kinds of money. So she does this fully expecting. She probably could have come back to Lucas and said, look, this is the bill for the lunch. But they all get up and at the end of the meeting to leave. And so she's like, sweating under the collar. And here comes Harrison Ford. And he pulls out his wallet. He says, yeah, we still owe you for lunch. And gives her way too much money. And she said, well, she has to get change. And he said, no, keep it. It's a tip.
Wow.
That's how he rolls.
Yeah.
He knew, he's a guy that used to struggle. He used to be a carpenter and an actor, a carpenter. And then here's this single mom just trying to make, she probably like me used to have her Mervyn's purse and her J.C. Penney shoes. You could
Right.
tell she wasn't made of money.
Wow. Um, Harold Johnson wants to know what's the state of the people on the USS Gerald Ford ship? I think
Is
they're
it out
angry.
there?
They're
Is it,
afraid.
the ships are stuck out there right now.
Right. Um,
They plan on blowing them all up. I can tell you that right now. They
they
plan on
said,
blowing them all up. That's what I just heard.
I heard it says somebody answered that they turned up docked in Haifa, Israel. So um, I think it's chaotic on the boat. I really do.
So are they able to replenish and get food and stuff through Israel or?
I think, but I still think it's chaotic on that ship.
I think a lot of them want to go home and don't want to be there.
I think they're going to try to plug up the plumbing again.
It's a good thing one of our kids ain't on there, one of your nieces or whatever. You and I'd be dressed up with our hats, getting down there. We don't care. We'd hire a private helicopter and we would drag our kids out.
I'd be on the ship. I'd be like, no,
Here's Auntie Mel. Here's Auntie Mel.
smack. I'll be at smack in the middle of the next week. We're out of here, right?
Then we'd be down in the kitchen cooking them some good Italian.
Now that I would do. Here, flush this bone down the toilet, would you?
I see a mass exodus. I see, and then what are they going to do? Put a lot of people would rather be in jail than to serve in this war. But I see a mass exodus military.
People are wondering if Trump will reinstate the draft.
Well, then good luck, because unless it's 45 or his son. I don't, I see people like this refusing.
They will, yeah, that's what I see too. It's your turn.
Oh, it is. Mark Elias and lawyers are able to prevent 45 and his cronies. Oh, will Mark Elias and his lawyers be able to prevent 45 and his cronies from stealing the midterms? By the way, I give monthly to Mark Elias. Um, absolutely, but it's the people that will prevent. He's not going to get away with it. He thinks that peace. He thinks his ratings might even go up. Boy, is he going to be shocked when they tumble.
That's what we just said. This war, he thinks his ratings are going to go up. They're not.
Yeah,
They'll play with the numbers, but I see people coming out in droves. I mean, multitudes to vote in the midterms. And a lot of people aren't going to do mail-in ballots. They're going to show up to the polling centers and they're going
yeah,
to think, no, now we've gone to the polling center, so you can't even question mail-in votes, Donald.
exactly.
I mean,
It's going to be so many that can't stand him.
I see seniors and walkers and wheelchairs going to vote.
There you go.
I mean, in person, not through the mail.
Yeah. Well,
So
like in California, probably in Chicago, you don't have to worry about the mail, right?
no, no.
They let me know when they get the ballot. They let me know when it was registered and put in the thing. And so they let you know here in California.
I'm seeing a lot of red states turning purple. I mean, look what happened in Texas with that really red district that guy won.
Oh, it's going to be
No,
beautiful. It's going to,
gonna-
listen, we've been prophesizing this forever. We
He's
just thought
coming
it was going to happen the first time,
sooner, but here we
but
are.
it's going to happen. Um, is it your turn or my turn?
Go ahead.
Uh, when will the DHS shutdown end? Work for the Coast Guard, and my colleagues and I have been working without pay for 10 days.
Trump doesn't care because now he can blame it. Now he's got this war he just started. And this war is going to drain the economy. I'm telling you, my guys have
Yeah,
been
and
showing
also
me.
drained ice.
My guys have been showing me that the economy is going to be an inflation and recession, big recession. It's going to drive prices up at the grocery stores, and all of those things add up. You know, a lot of times people vote on economic issues, and you're paying more money at the grocery store. He lied about gas prices. You're paying more money for this, that, housing, everything. And people, it's really, each time he does something like this, it puts another nail on his coffin.
Yeah, and let a Iran terrorist action take place in the United States, and everything freezes up.
Well, even if that happens, it's still not going to look good for him.
Yeah, but when is it going to change? I can't, I don't know. I can't tell you when, but I can see it. I can see them giving money, but they won't say that they're not. The only thing they're asking is teach the ICE to be better, treat people better. Teach the ICE this, and he won't do it.
It's not going to happen. And people, I see the National Guard surrounding ICE and telling them, you can't do this.
Yeah,
So even the National Guard is going to turn against the Gestapo.
I see the fracturing of our military. I
And I'm
really
telling
do.
you something, these ICE agents who have treated people so cruelly, and I've heard it when these people are incarcerated, they're hitting these people, they're doing everything. They put stuff around their hands when they hit them so it won't cause bruises. Those people are all going to be outed, you know. Um, and let's see what they're going to say. Oh, I was just doing my job.
Oh
Well, you
yeah,
know
that's
what?
what they did with Hitler too.
When they're incarcerated and they're in their orange jumpers, then let's see how the tables turn.
Exactly.
And the tables will turn. And
Yeah,
it's starting soon, very soon.
yeah. Okay, go ahead and ask another question.
Lareta Najira says, will Republican Mark Wayne Mullins of Oklahoma win the midterm, or can the Democrat Nikila Jasmine Taylor beat him? Um,
Oklahoma's really laying in the red.
Yeah, but I think that this
You
whole
think
war is
she
going
could
to
do it?
change.
I'm not
I
getting a
do.
yes or no, but I'm not getting that that
She
person's
has
falling.
she has to really get out there and knock on doors and campaign, and she has to really talk about how to fix things. Uh, and I'm feeling that if she does all that, she'll win.
Okay.
Okay. Um, Go ahead, your turn.
Will the U.S. be able to recoup stolen government funds that Trump stashed in Swiss bank accounts?
Yes, they're going
Yes.
to seize them.
People said, oh, once it's overseas. No, they were able to stop even Putin's money.
My light bulb just went on, and my guides
But
put this rhetorical question in my head. Wonder how much money Donald Trump and his cronies are making on this war. Lots.
yeah, damn.
Lots. Because they can control gas prices, they can control this. I mean, he's making buku money on this.
And people are begging him to use their place to develop things for this war. And
Right,
he's saying,
exactly.
give me a cut and we'll see about it.
Bingo. That's exactly right. And that's all going to come out, every bit of it.
Yeah.
And it's going to come out that, his so-called negotiations with Iran, it's going to come out that there was collusion going on under the table for quite a while to pull this stunt. And a lot of it's going to be illegal.
I
And
know. I
so
can't wait.
a lot coming out.
Go ahead.
Uh, you've already touched on sleeper cells. So, all right. Let's see here. Um, Auntie Vaughn says, when will it become more and more apparent that the current occupant of the White House is very unwell?
It's
In other
apparent
words,
right now, but yeah.
right, it's apparent now, but
Somebody said, I don't know if this is true, that Trump said on Truth Social that Biden was killed in 2020 and he's doing fake Bidens to replace him.
that's not true.
But I don't
Uh,
know if it's true that Trump said that. So
oh,
I
I
got to
don't,
look it up.
I don't. But I do see Trump hospitalized soon
Oh,
because I
good.
see a hospital room with a monitor and IVs going, and they can't say it's just a routine checkup. That's for sure.
Vicky said, will our young men and women who are in the military services of any branch of the military be called to go overseas to fight this situation in the military reserves? And I say yes. They're already calling for reserves right now.
They're going to get
This is
active.
where I see the fracturing because
They're
I
going to
see
get
the.
activated.
Are you kidding me? Go where? How? No. And they're talking about boots on the ground.
Yes, I know.
Well,
I
now, what's
know.
that about? Maybe that's when
Um,
they say, no, you can get your boots and go on the ground.
and if he puts boots on the ground here again, it's going to be the worst thing he could have ever done.
I'm
Because
telling
if
you,
he does that, we will get defeated.
we're already getting defeated. I don't care what they're saying. They're acting like, oh, we got this covered. I just feel like Iran has more missiles than we do.
It's not gonna end soon if I mean, it could end like that, but that slash and
And he's
burn
so
warfare.
pompous and smirk and thinks that
Oh,
he's
I know. Look
King
at what
Ford
I
Daddy.
did. Look at what we've done. It's all lies.
And have you seen the pictures of Tel Aviv?
Oh yeah.
It
Oh yeah.
looks like Gaza.
Well, I looked at the ones in Tehran. It was horrible. But um Nora Flores said, all of the wrongs Orange has done doesn't make it right. Well, yeah. When will we get justice for everything he has done? And will he ruin Social Security by changing this SSA rules by ending it for us all? Will it happen? A
No,
big thank you to both of you. You're awesome together. Oh,
he's
thanks.
thinking about it, but I see too many people in Congress working against him. He's
Oh,
not
they're
going to
going to
be
be.
able to touch Social Security because you think they're losing now. Wait till you touch Social Security.
Oh, you start playing with Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security. But my prices for my Medicare for my Medicare went up, and also for my prescription plan. Medicare went up by $75 a month.
Well, there's a lot of people pay way more than that. It's
No, no,
awful.
no, no, no. I'm paying more than that, but they added $75 a month to what I was already paying.
Yeah, because I know, like the Obama plan or whatever that was, a lot of
Right.
people they can't afford it. They can't do it more than
Um,
their rent.
I'm already paying like close to 500 a month. Well,
Yeah, that's what I pay. I pay. I can't remember. They take it out of my Social Security, so my Social Security ends up being minus 25 cents.
exactly. By the time they take it out of your Social Security, and then they call it an entitlement. I don't think so.
Yeah. Hey,
Some
listen.
people were paying for it. We'll get justice.
And
We'll
the
see.
other thing is that when, that's the hard part for us, you guys, to tell you when. We can't exactly get in that. We felt something big coming up in April. So fingers crossed.
Um, I see, again, justice, my guides keep telling me justice will be done. Uh, Pam Bondi, Christy Noam, Hegseth, Cash Patel, these people are all going to have their Waterloos, and we will see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, um,
So somebody said, Marie said, well, was Bill Clinton being honest about not knowing Jeffrey Epstein was what he was up to?
say again, I'm sorry.
Marie wants to know, was Bill Clinton being honest about not knowing what Jeffrey Epstein was up to?
Absolutely. I
I
mean,
feel like he didn't know.
Bill Clinton wanted to testify in public, and they said no.
Yeah,
And Hillary, she commented that that testimony they kept asking her had nothing to do with the Epstein files. They asked her stuff that was like ridiculous. And so I am sure that when they question her, she chewed them up and spit them out.
I know. I love it. I love it.
Um, I see it leaked. I see it going public at some point.
Well, they're supposed to release it, but they haven't so far because didn't go in favor of them.
But then they look like complete idiots.
Yeah,
And those Trumpsters that are using these committees to besmirch the names of people, they're going to have to face justice for what they're doing as well.
yeah,
Might
exactly.
not be prison, but it would be, being chastised by communities. Their political careers will be done. They lose their power.
And I see Netanyahu going down. His
Jordan
That energy about him going down is stronger right now than I have on Trump. Trump will too, but I feel his is sooner than later. And I'm almost feeling like it's within his own organization or people within, and they just want him gone.
the Israeli people do not want this war any more than
Yeah,
Americans do.
yeah.
Um, all right. Um, let's see here. A lot of questions about the election. Um, somebody says, Rhonda Barrow says, what was the real reason that Trump bombed Iran? We've already talked about it. It was distraction, diversion.
And
Um,
also, he had Netanyahu on his ass.
exactly. Here's one. PEC 9905 says, just how bad are things going to get? We just retired last year. Will our 40 years of savings get wiped out? Will we have to go back to work? Well, I mean, we're going to see inflation. We're going to see recession. We're going to pay a lot more at the grocery stores,
I don't
gas
see it
prices.
being wiped out, but yeah.
But I don't see it being wiped out. No, I don't think you're going to have to go back to work. Um, it's your turn, Linda.
Okay. Yeah, we've this one we've answered. Will Trump be successful in declaring an emergency and taking over the elections? No.
No,
Will auto races be limited if gasoline prices go sky high?
no. Trump will want still his racetrack in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, they don't care if they pay 75% more.
Right. They might talk about rationing gas at some point, but um, okay. Uh, Sandrad, Michigan girl says, "Dear beautiful Linda and handsome Mel." Thank you. Um, will the general public in the United States learn that Trump pocketed the money collected from his tariffs? Well, he
Oh
pocketed
God, yeah.
money. Yeah,
Oh, he
absolutely.
just announced he can't do the ballroom or the or something else if they insist on refunding the money because he doesn't have it.
Right. And I knew when he tore up all that stuff that that ballroom would never get finished.
Yep,
Never.
yep.
And once he's out of office, not JD Vance, but the president that comes in after this regime crumbles and topples, and it will, the first thing the president's going to do is do an executive order that will overturn all of Trump's executive
Oh
orders.
God, yeah. That's the first thing.
My guides tell me
Biden
that.
did that too.
And then what they're going to do is restore the White House to what it was before Trump tore everything out.
They're
I
going to
see the
get rid
rose,
of all that plastic fake gold on the walls.
I see the Rose Garden coming back. And I
Yep, they're
see,
gonna. I saw those things like this,
right,
breaking
exactly.
up the cement
And I see the Kennedy Center with Trump's name off of it.
off. And also, by the way, I see people within the United States that love our country giving the money in a fund to help pay for that rose garden to be put back in place.
Yeah, because it was taxpayers' money.
Yeah. But I
Um,
see him just, oh, listen, somebody brought up that we haven't had any rest since he's been in office. It's been drama after drama. It's even worse than we could imagine.
now
And
this week,
may I say, you guys, not only with this, but his first time he was in, and the whole time Biden was in, he couldn't shut his damn mouth or keep out of our business. When we had a immigration thing ready to go, bipartisan immigration, he got right in the middle of it and told Congress, "Don't vote yes on it."
that's right, because he knew he could use that to win the election.
Yeah,
Um, well, this time when he's gone, he won't have any power at all, nor will JD Vance. So finally his mouth will be shut.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Jennifer, Jennifer G says, "Hello, Linda and Mel. Linda, you have said it will get worse before he is done. I have been with you for a while, and you're always the calm we need. Thank you." Oh, that's sweet.
Aw.
Okay. Oh, here's one. Who do you think's going to win the California governor's race? They want to know if it's going to be a Democrat or a Republican. I say
I
a
think it's a
Democrat.
Democrat. Although the Republicans are a little higher on, but there's too many people running right now from the Democrat list. But I think Katie may win, or Salwell. It's between Salwell and Katie.
I don't think a Democrat's, I mean, I don't think a Republican's going to win it. And
No,
even if one did, which I don't see,
especially with this. Are you kidding? They're not going to let a
that's right.
Republican in there.
Well, even if one did, which I don't see, the California House and Senate is majority of Democrats, so it would be a lame duck governor anyway.
Yeah,
But I see a Democrat winning. So
yeah. Well, sweetie, we've pretty much taken up the time.
yeah, I mean,
It
we've answered a
flies
lot
by
of
when we're having fun.
exactly. Um, I just want to say, if I can, I've got an opening, couple openings for my Iceland trip, but the air is selling out quickly. There's enough hotel space, but the air space, because the airline seats, because everybody and their brother is going to see the eclipse. But I do have openings, so um, I can probably squeeze, one or two in. So if you're interested, please call my office 847-590-5411. So
Now, let me ask you something. Is all this airlines shutting down in the Middle East going to affect you at all?
no, because we're not going anywhere in the Middle East.
Right.
We're like May the 10th, we're going to Europe, and so it won't really affect anything. Iceland, that's not going to affect anything. And then Ecuador is in South America, so that's not going to affect anything. I mean, obviously, if we were going like to United Arab Emirates or Kuwait or somewhere like that,
You wouldn't be able to go. Yeah, they'd
it
already be
wouldn't, right,
canceling
it
it.
wouldn't
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
But it's not, we're not going anywhere near the Middle East. Uh, no trips planned to Israel either. So,
Yeah. Oh, poor Israel. It's getting bombed up big time.
well, the people there are going to be,
They even got a bomb shelter, right? They were even able to drop a bomb in a shelter and kill everybody in the shelter.
They're going to totally be anti-Netanyahu. I can tell you that right
Yeah,
now.
they want him gone. They want him gone. We don't
Oh,
have to do anything. They will take care of business.
here's a question: when will this shutdown, this partial shutdown, end? And I
Yeah.
think Trump's going to try to use the war to get funding, but it won't work. And I think the Dems are holding firm, saying, "Guess what? We're not reopening the government because we're not going to fund ICE."
Yeah, but what about like the military that's not getting paid?
Well, that's another thing that's going to make them mad. We're not getting our paychecks. We're not, how do we support our families? How do
Yeah.
we, so, it's the Democrats are going to hold firm on this.
Yeah.
The Republicans are going to have to concede.
Well,
That's
it's about ready to be Republican ended soon.
right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
we need a big blue wind in Texas, you guys, so that scares everybody so people could see the writing on the wall.
um,
And
exactly.
and do you have any other announcements to make?
Just Androniki.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll be announcing soon my trips for next year. And tonight I'm going to be on live for members only. I'll be answering their personal questions.
Oh,
I
cool.
think I think it's at 7 o'clock. So join me.
Okay.
And that's about all I've got. So
All right, you guys. And do you have openings for readings?
I do. So if you'd like a session with me, call my office at 847-590-5411. We're
Okay.
closed today. We'll be there tomorrow.
Awesome. If you get a chance, see that movie Sinners. It's really good.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. Bye, you guys.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.